Welcome back to another edition of Community Conversations at Master Muhammad York Studios. We're honored to be here, another show. We ask you to join us on Facebook. We're on Master Muhammad York on Facebook, as well as on YouTube, Master Muhammad York. I think we're also on Instagram, Master Muhammad York. And you can check us out on our website, mastermuhammadyork.org. We are happy to be here this Friday with our dear brother Abdul Mani, who's going to talk to us about the Hajj Alumni Committee, but also he's going to talk to us about the latest on those who like to go to Hajj, inshallah. So without any further ado, I'd like to welcome our dear brother Abdul Mani Hassan. Welcome.
Assalamu alaikum to thank you for having me on and having the Hajj Alumni Committee on. I'm representing them. I chair it, and the co-chairs Umakai Samira Diab, and anybody and all of our other Hajj committee members. Thanks for going in and finding the picture and having them on. What we want to talk about is Hajj. Hajj is really seems to be talked about when we get close to the Hajj. But you should be prepared for Hajj year round. Okay, so we get ready to go into 2026, and there have been a lot of changes. What the Hajj Alumni Committee used to do, I'm gonna talk a little bit about that, and then I'm gonna talk about what we are doing now, and what the people in the community, what you should know to do, because it seems like people don't know. So because they don't know, everybody's running to Umrah. But what has happened is what we used to do. First of all, Hajj Alumni Committee was founded. Our dear brother, may Allah forgive his sins, down in paradise, is Rasul Ansari and a few others. And this is 25 years ago. He started in 2000. And here we are 25 years ago, and close to 26 now. That'd be 26 years. So people in the community, they say, well, what is the Hajj Alumni Committee doing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Where are they? Well, what we used to do is we would support the people and prepare the people to go to Hajj. We had a teacher that was in the classroom, that taught a lot of people what to do spiritually, what they had to do, et cetera. But back then, when I went, my first Hajj in 1998, what you could go to somebody in the community. A lot of us back then from the Newark area, we went with Shaheed Tours. Okay, Shaheed Tours, and we went with him. And my first Hajj, it was like 35 of us from the Newark and the New York tri-state area. And once our brother Rasul Ansari and those that started the Hajj Alumni Committee, once they started it in 2000, what we were doing is we would do a Hajj send-off, because they could go to a person like Shaheed, so we knew who was going. And we would have an annual breakfast, fundraising breakfast. We would do a send-off once we got a list of people in the area that were going, and let them speak. And everything was always, a nice crowd. And then about a month after they were back from Hajj, alhamdulillah, may Allah accept all of our Hajj, those of us that have been able to go, because you can only go if you're invited by Allah. You can't go any other way, and it's gotten a little tougher. So I'm here to explain that also. But what we used to do, and I want to throw back jacket, okay, that we all, we were we were uniform. And this is not this one, we had male and female, everybody that was on the group. And there's been a lot of people that have passed through the Hans Alumni Committee, I want to thank them and, let them know that the Hans Alumni Committee could not have existed without them and the support from the community. Because we did an annual send-off to the Hodge. We did a return program once they came home. After they were home for about a month, we would have a date set up and people would come out to hear the stories. Because everybody's Hodge is different. You can be with a group, but what your experience is different. What you feel and what happened to you. Did you change? Because if you didn't change, then say you miss Hodge, Hodge is Arafat. They used to, we were taught that, you made it to Arafat. If people had, when we were over there, if if people were sick or whatever, they say, just give me the Arafat. Because that is, was the strongest day. And when we were on Arafat, back here at home was the Eid. That was Eid al-Adha. Okay, of course we know Ramadan, it's Eid al-Fitr. But back home, if, we were over there, but we were eating lamb and rice over there, in the tents, of Amendment. But, going and seeing so what's happening now is this. We can't and haven't done since 2019. 2019 is the last time the Hodge Alumni Committee has done a send-off, okay, and we did a return program. 2019, also, you had the pandemic that showed up. So once the pandemic showed up, then you had a pause in everything, even with the Hodge, because the only people that they allowed to make Hodge, the Saudi government, was the people that lived there at that time. So that put brakes on for a whole lot of stuff. And what has happened since then, okay, we got through the pandemic, alhamdulillah, and after slowly coming out of that and people returning to Hajj slowly, because the Saudi government, they were saying they wasn't gonna have, that people saying, yeah, 2 million people over there, because that's how many. I know when we went, they said it was like 2 million, 2.5 million. You walking, like taking baby steps wherever you go. Alhamdulillah. But you're doing it for the sake of Allah. It's the fifth pillar. This is what the Hajj Alumni Committee does. We everybody that's on it is a Haji, male or female, that we made the Hajj, and we promote the fifth pillar of Islam, which is the Hajj. So now what happens, and you can go on YouTube, audience, and go to YouTube and look at Mecca Live, and you can see the crowds of people and making the Umrah. Because you still can go to somebody that your masjid, your imam, people, travel agencies, you still can go to them and they do Umrah. And there's no serious or hardcore restrictions on that. But what has happened is the Saudi Ministry of Hajj and Umrah, they've taken over the Hajj itself. Okay, so Umrah, you can go to your people, but the only way you can go to Hajj is now you have to go to what's called the Nusuk. It's a Nusuk, N-U-S-U-K website. You have to go there. But if you go to our website, okay, we had a website now for some years, And I've been passing out information, and the committee's been passing out information, palm cards, where people can call us and, I don't know, we don't get the calls and like, or whatever, but the bottom line is, if you go to our website, we've been on the Zooms and webinars with, the group that, one of the, groups that used to take the most, people from USA and Canada, every year, and it's a travel agency, Dar es Salaam in New York. But they had something in Miami, they had something in Canada, they had something in Moscow, but, so anyway, being in touch with them, staying in touch with them, they have, webinars and they have, Zooms. And, with that being said, I was able to keep up and, with the information part of it. So, and share the information. It doesn't cost you anything to go on the hodgealumni.org. That's our website. Go on our website and you'll see, and you'll be able to, if you really want to go, now, Allah invites you to go, but you have to get your information into NUSUC, which is the Saudi government's website. And but we have it where it'll walk you through. It'll walk you through, and Brother Man, I think you've been on the website and seen it, and the information is on there. And we change the information as the information is changed. Like back in 1998, a woman had to have a makram. They had to have a husband or a man, to go. Now the Saudi government has changed that, where they don't have to have a makram, as long as they're with a group or something, and that's what they're looking for. They're looking for people. Once you go into NUSUC and fill out your information and put your information in there, they are looking for people that haven't gone, and or if you're or maybe in a group like a family of 10 or nasty. Now that doesn't mean that you'll get selected, because Allah selects you. You have to. So those of you out there that are listening, and listening audience, you have to make dua and ask Allah to invite you to Hajj. You have to. It's nothing no more than that. Allah invites you to Hajj. So I thank Allah much that we would have guessed. I was able to go twice, but I know people used to go every year. And one of the teacher that worked for and worked with us and was on the Hajj committee side here, he was about 13, 14 times, and then it's other people I stay in touch with. Also, our brother in Philadelphia, Ghani, brother Ghani's taking like 30 groups over to Hajj, but now you can't contact these people to go to Hajj. Okay, you have to go into the NUSUC website, which is owned by the Saudis. The Saudi government, they're taking it over. I'm talking just about the Hajj. And once you go into the website, you have to fill in your information. And if it won't let you fill in your information, you just keep checking to see when they open the door to let you put in your information. And then you also making dua the whole time, because that's what you have to do. Ask Allah, please invite me, because they're selecting people. And once you're selected, have your monies ready, because that's another thing. When we went, it was a lot cheaper. Now it starts around $10,000. But even the $10,000 package right now, over the past, since Newsuck took it over, this is their third year now. So it's, since, the Saudi ministry has taken over, the Hajj. And you have to go through them. So they have selected their own groups. They selected them. But one thing we have here are the people that, we went with, the travel agency, where I'm on the webinars where I can talk to the people and know the people. And most of us in the North, and I'm gonna use something that Imam Akil here in the Newark area, like he said, when I talked or spoke about the Hajj at his masjid last year, and he spoke after me, he said, this community here in Newark, he said this, and I asked him and I told him I was gonna use that, because he was right. He said, this is a fifth pillar community here in this Newark area. And he's right, because there's a lot of people, when we would do the Hajj send-off, when we do the Hajj returns, people would get fired up. And they know they had to make do with us. Allah was inviting them and they were going. You save your money and you go. Like it took us 5 years, my wife and I, to go the second time. And and everybody's story is different. Once you get over there, and I'm gonna tell a listening audience, the difference between Umrah, last time I went was 2011. That's Umrah, first and last Umrah. But I've been to two Hajj, 98 and 03. And what I was leaning on the Kaaba with two hands. My wife was a few feet from me, leaning on the Kaaba with two hands. Tears rolling, coming down out of my eyes. Nobody pushing me, nobody shoving me. Now, Hajj is not like that, because you have a heck of a lot more people. But if you go and you look at Mecca Live, you're seeing Umrah right now. And you see if you can lean on the Kaaba now, because of the pricing, $10,000 at a starting price. Okay, a lot of people, they can't afford it. So what the Hajj Alumni Committee and all of the brothers and sisters that's on the committee, we're here to give information out. And we collect the information, we keep a website, we meet once a month, and we're not gonna stop. We're gonna keep pushing, because you have younger people that are Muslim that are coming up, they wanna go. They wanna go. I've spoken to, and some older people that haven't gone, they wanna go. One thing the Saudi government has done, though, they have upgraded so many things since I last went, as far as getting to and from one area to a next area on trains, and then even walking around the Kaaba, circumambulating around the Kaaba 7 times, now up on the second tier of the Masjid al-Haram, where they have wheelchairs and scooters, that people will take you around. So they're more sensitive and have been more sensitive toward people with the elderly and people with disabilities. So people don't have to worry about that. Just get there. If you're invited, have the money and go. Now I've had people ask me, well, what about, this? And they've asked people within the group, because everybody, you can see Umrah's going everywhere. From all masjids around, you can see a lot of groups, different masjids going to Umrah. Because you can go to Umrah now for about $3,200. I know some other stuff, but I'm not going to talk about it, because it would be advertising, but Dar Salaam, they have stuff going on. They have new stuff that's going on. But because the Haas Alumni Committee, because we are pushing the fifth pillar, you want to try to make Haas. You can save your money, and it's written on our website, save, make, do it, to go to Haas. And you can also go to the website and you'll see a couple of not cell numbers, a couple of emails. One is for myself and one is for the co-chair, Sister Omakaya. If anybody wants to contact us, they can. Phone numbers on the palm cards. One is for her, one is hers, one is mine. But people that know, and thank you, by the way, for going into the website and getting a picture of the people that's on the Haas Alumni Committee, because I didn't do that, y'all. He did that. This is our brother and man is good with the technology, and he went in, and so those of you that are out there that are seeing this, if you know anybody on there, all you have to do is ask them. I said, and they're going to tell you, listen, you can go to our website. Again, I keep mentioning the website, haasalumni.org, and it'll walk you through it. And if you need to be walked through it, or if you need some more information, we have different tiers, like Haas brother, he put somebody to me because he knows I'm on the webinars, but trying to keep up with that, because that could be overwhelming also with all of the changes. But they are allowing, I'm talking about the Saudi government now, they have allowed the people that we went with, okay, I'm talking about the travel agency, they're allowing them to do more and more. But one thing you can't do, you can't give any travel agency anywhere any money. Your money has to go right into the NUSUC, right, where you establish an account and an e-wallet, so you have your money ready. So if you are selected, you push the money in there, okay, and then they'll take you from there. And they also do classes or what you do spiritually, and your flights, and they take you through the whole thing.
So inshallah, we're gonna do a quick break with our commercial, our young people, and then we'll give him the last word, and then it'll be time for prayer, inshallah. Inshallah, you ready?
Assalamu alaikum. So today we have the Muslim Journal for $3, and then we have the Imam Warthi Muhammad 50th year of his leadership for $20. And then we also have the Chew detergent. It can clean 4 loads of clothes. As you can see, it says 4x concentrated, and also it's halal, and it can clean 101 loads of clothes. And it's heavy duty liquid laundry detergent, and it removes dirt, brightens fabric, and leaves a fresh, clean set when you finish with washing the clothes. Also, a new book called Treasure Under the Wall that's on sale for the Muslims at Masjid Muhammad Newark. It's $50. And also, last but not least, we have the Islamic flag, the Muslim American Community flag. Assalamu
Walaikum assalam. So, as we close out, inshallah, we thank our brother Abdul Mani Hassan for coming and sharing with us about the Hajj Alumni Committee, as he mentioned, hajjalumni.org. And as he mentioned, you go on that site, you check everything out, and then he mentioned about the Nusuk, NUSUK. So we'll give him the last few moments for closing remarks and any other insights he'd like to share with us before we close, inshallah.
So I'd like to thank you, brother, man, again for having us on. I'm quite sure as time moves on, because this year's Hajj is expected to be like May 25th and May 30th. See, because when you go over the Hajj, you know, with the group that we went, you did 5 days Mecca, 5 days Medina, and then you actually started performing the Hajj. So people are all geared up for 2026. Last year when they opened up, I'm gonna say the doors online, you know, with the packages for the people that the Saudi government has, when they opened that up, it was sold out in 2 days. So that's why you should have your information in. You should visit our website. If you need any more information, let me know. And, you know, inshallah, as things change, I will be in touch with you to let you know, to bring us back on, and, maybe we can get the whole group to come in and share, some of their feelings and their stories about the Hajj, because the Hajj is the 5th pillar of Islam. And, we're trying to get people to save, but first you have to make dua. And the information, we're here for the information. We're here to give it to you. Again, I want to thank you, and I want to thank the Council of Imams for allowing me to come on at the beginning of one of the meetings, where we have this package, and I emailed it out. Hopefully everybody got it. And it says information from the Hajj Alumni Committee of New Jersey in our 25th year. And it's the Hajj process for U.S. Muslims as of 2025 and 2026, which will be this Hajj will be 2026. So a lot of what I told you, they haven't even come out yet with the prices for and the packages for 2026. They're still working on that. So again, I want to thank you. I want to thank everybody. And I want to definitely thank everybody that's worked and that's on the Hajj Alumni Committee working now, and that has worked on it before, so we can continue to, promote the 5th pillar of Islam, the Hajj. Assalamu alaikum.
So again, we thank you for another edition of IWDM Community Conversations here at Masjid Muhammad Noor. And we're thankful again for our dear brother Abdul Mani for coming on, representing the Hajj Alumni Committee of New Jersey. Again, hajjalumni.org. And inshallah, we'll close with the Adhan. Maghrib is in now. And so just like the Prophet, praise and peace be upon him, asked Bilal to stand on top of the Kaaba to give the Adhan, we're going to ask our brother to come, inshallah, and give us the Adhan, and then we'll close out. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Now, in concluding this, when the slave traders and the black traders of Africa, traitors, when the slave traders and the traitors of Africa called themselves Muslims, were fighting each other and carrying on and weakening their people over there, so that the white traders come in there and get us, take us on slave ships and bring us here. Now, all right? Yeah. So now, when all that happened, what you think was happening to our human soul? Let me tell you, God has given me an eye to see into the very abstract form of the human being by my study of the Quran. Yes. Now, I'm going to tell you what was happening. I know, as if I was there. The soul of those victims had given up on this world. They knew they were going to their death. They knew they were going to circumstances that were going to finish them off. They would never have their lives again. They knew that. But in their soul, they were saying, our children will one day be free again, and they will serve God. We have failed, but our children will one day serve God. And now their prayer that they prayed in the deep recesses of their soul has come true. And not only of the descendants of the black people of Africa, from Islam, coming to Islam, taking up the divine cause, but those who never were Muslims, their children from Christianity, their children from Judaism, their children from paganism, are embracing Islam in America. And we are going to build new Africa. New Africa, right here in the United States. Allahu Akbar. And the soul of those suffering victims, they're rejoicing because of us here today.